Youth Shades, Issue 3, November 2016. Copyrighted by Authors and Youth Shades, 2016. All rights reserved. All contents have been published with permission of the authors. No part of this publication may be reproduced in any form without the written consent of Youth Shades and the authors. Photos with no attribution are free licensed. Connect with us on social media. Facebook, Youth Shades. Twitter, @Youth Shades Mark. YouTube, Youth Shades. Team, Chief Editor, Yakekponobasi Adams. Poetry Editor, Akintimoye Samuel Omoniyi. Fiction Editor, Kate Job Water. Non-fiction Editor, Erica Morris. Graphic Designer / Video Editor, Samuel Odiahi. Audio Presenter, Emediong Akpan. Table of Contents. Editorial. Poetry. Karen King, UK, Smoking. Alicia Minjares Ramirez, Mexico, The Path of Your Steps. Colin Cameron, UK, Please Daddy Please. Dauda Onawala, Nigeria, For Our Race. PM Baha Ahmed, Bangladesh, My Love. Valentine Bagu, Nigeria, Tribute to Shakespeare. Sir Min Sai, Republic of China, The Love of Poetry Collection. Benjamin Peter, Nigeria, Ajuwaya. Amos Joshua, Nigeria, Weeping Universe. Zimba Isaac, Zambia, She Will Rise Again. Stories. Dasharak Naik, India, The Bite. Amaka Feli Obioji, Nigeria, A Little Sadness. Arts and Skills. Pictures. Arts. Articles. Paul Prayer, Nigeria, The Dignity of Labor Among Teachers and Students Today, 1. Memoir. Rosie Roses, South Africa, Physically Challenged Mom. Call for submission. Editorial. Gay marriage in Nigeria, to be or not to be. The issue of same-sex marriages has for some time now been a topic of discourse, especially in Nigeria, as such practices is not allowed in the country. The argument has been so strong in a couple of years past until it was formally passed into law in 2013, prohibiting such practice in the country. Nigeria recognizes neither same-sex marriages nor civil unions for same-sex couples. Homosexuality can land men up to 14 years in prison in southern Nigeria and capital punishments for men in areas under Sharia Islamic law. 10 years have been prescribed for anybody convicted of aiding and abetting the contraction of same-sex marriage in Nigeria, and also nullifies certificates of same-sex marriage contracted outside the shores of Nigeria. Additionally, the act kicked against the operation of gay clubs in Nigeria with a punishment of 10 years jail term without option of fine for anybody guilty of operating gay clubs within the country. Homosexuality is illegal in most African nations based on remnants of sodomy laws introduced during the British colonial era and perpetuated by cultural beliefs. Punishments across the continent range from fines to years in prison. People having knowledge about the union could also be imprisoned for a maximum of 10 years. One thing to put into consideration is that gay unions have always existed. It's only in the recent past that people started paying attention to gay marriages in Nigeria. This was being fanned by the proposed anti-gay bill, which is now law, and activist groups. In fact, statistics put that 1 out of 5 Nigerians has in one way or another been involved with the same sex. This system has always been seen as a Western idea and opponents to the gay marriage in Nigeria believe that this practice is a Western ideology. They view it as an erosion of African culture which prohibits same-sex marriages. The influence is largely fueled by the influence of Western culture through daily interaction and also the media. Another thing to look out for is that there has never been gay marriage except for mere allegations, and we need to ask this question: what is gay marriage? This is the first question that might be asked by many Nigerians. Truth of the matter is that there has never been any recorded gay marriage in Nigeria. Since time immemorial, gayism and lesbianism have always been ridiculed. Therefore, the people involved rarely go public about it. It is pertinent to know that gay marriages can never end because some countries around the world have chosen to legalize it and many are already practicing, while some are planning to legalize it. Hence, people are watching to see a safe haven where they can pitch their tent to continue the practice for fear of being arrested or killed. People against gay and lesbian unions breathed a sigh of relief when the bill was passed. Just like in many other regions, quite a number of Nigerians know that the marriages can never end. Religion and culture has always been the main driver against this act. Notwithstanding, people are moving away from religion and culture. Just as these said existing gay clubs in Nigeria are yet to be caught in the act, allegations has it that many gay couples in Nigeria are bisexual. People engaging in same-sex unions may also be in a straight marriage setting. Many are fathers/mothers who have children. This has always been the norm, hence trying to draw the line between the two completely opposite unions is quite a task. Some do this as a cover-up, while others discover their inclinations while in a straight marriage. There is unequal condemnation about gay relationships in public. Lesbianism is more acceptable than gayism. Two ladies walking hand in hand or displaying affection in public may be overlooked. However, for two men to even share a brotherly hug, the people around will drop what they were doing just to witness such an event. This probably explains why the number of men engaging in the activities is perceived to be less than that of women. The anti-gay law came at a time when other countries were warming up to the idea of seeing gays and lesbians getting married legally. France, the US, and also South Africa have done it. Well, on paper, the unions are prohibited in Nigeria. However, the unions still exist, but in utmost secrecy. Poetry. Photographer Victor Etekamba, Nigeria. Karen King, UK. Smoking. An addiction that keeps you calm. Same lot causes you ghost harm. Your teeth stand and tense your hair. Pockets outturned, leaves you no spare. Another form of taking drugs, easily obtainable, like tea in a mug. Both wake you up and give you a buzz, but they leave the brain a terrible force. Is it worth it? I hear you, sir. Perhaps there is a better way. All the money to relieve the stress. Leave your finances in a mess. Why not go out in the fresh air? In the countryside, it's for all to share. There awaits you a natural high, amidst braced trees in a splendid sky. Alicia Minjares Ramirez, Mexico. The path of your steps. Naked and locking tenderness at the riverbank. A kiss clinging on as a vine, climbing through the sap of my branches. I spy on the night in your thistles, adjacent meridians in the nectar of your nail. Of all your summers emanate and disappear crepuscular fragments. Frost decorates the melodic chants of orioles and blackbirds. I invent you and lose you in the zephyr chloric notes. The sublime lightness makes silence thunder up, dissolving my dawns in the hustle of memory. Fire against the light of the stranger and noble torso of your body. You rain and crumble over my fragrant touch. Blast that exalts the sound of the stones building up my roads. Long gone and desolated landscapes, blooming today behind your own steps. Colin Cameron, UK. Please, Daddy, please. Hey, Dad, can you talk me in? Then read me a story about the magic violin, where everyone danced and sleeper lost, where cows are sold at magic beans cost. The one with the apple stuck in the throat of the troll under the bridge and Billy Grief goat, where princesses are gorgeous, princes are brave, battling dragons, avoiding fairy grave. You know I love it when you tell me of elves and wizards, of giants, of dwarfs, of ghastly beasts, gizzards, of castles and turrets, haunted caves, of madmen and spells, lost in the raves. Go on, Dad, it won't take long. I'll be asleep soon if you sing me my favorite song. I don't mind if you read or sing, I just want you near. I'm your princess, you my king. So don't make excuses. Say a prayer with me. Sit on my bed. Don't be a parental absentee. Dauda Onawala, Nigeria, for our race. We can't break. No, we won't break. For emotions, even when we get heartbreak, we won't break in the race of man. It's been a long streak of succession, and this generation shall not fail. So the youths, I say, we won't break. It's our turn to bait life. Now there is war. Thousands paths. Which do we follow? All or none? Even in this philosophical confusion, no, we won't break. The baton has been silently passed to us. We shall take it and we shall run. From this place, we can't break. Rigors are plenty, but victory is our terminal. PM Baha Ahmed, Bangladesh. My love. My love. She's living in my heart, always present in my dreams. She's flying like a beautiful bird. My love. When I almost lose hope and think about my bad times, then she's my comfort. My love. Ever present, she comes by and sprinkles love on my heart. She makes me happy. She scents of a flower. My love. She is an imagination, the dream and sweetest heart feeling. She comes when I sleep or in my thoughts. She loves me very passionately. My love. She is the dream that I feel in reality. Valentine Bagu, Nigeria. Tribute to Shakespeare. To whom do I liken thee, O God of gods, William Shakespeare? Art thou not an immortal God or an incarnate of a spirit being? Albeit thy sepulchre is but an idol, kept sacred by all humans. Of a truth, thy wisdom is greater than the wisdom of God. Whereupon thy plague of wisdom do I invest my foolishness. I'll treasure thee until the ocean is folded and hung up to dry. Thou art a monument without a tomb, yet art forever alive in history. If I can but fit into thy bed, only then will I be fit to wed myself. Shakespeare, art thou a supernatural god or an immortal creature? Howbeit thy enchanting quill doth live, in spite of death, and cannot die. Thy historic writings I'll idolize, for to thy muse I am confessed. To whom do I liken thee, thou wittiest of all Socrates, if not but a god? To thy legacies I am confessed, for thy pen is worth more than gold. Thou art the enigma of all times. None can exist thus like thee. The gigantic ink that painted the pages of history with a historic art. Sage, thou art a historic page whose duplicates can never be produced. Beneath thy tomb lies an art which neither man nor nature can ever forget. Thou was not for an age, but all time. For nature herself boasted of thee. Mellifluous Shakespeare, thy historic impacts make the silent grave aroused. Thou the wittiest sage of all times, whose name doth deck history. To whom do I liken thee, Thou sweet swan of Avon, William Shakespeare, thou art the idol of all sages who flight upon the rivers of Thames. Shakespeare, thou art the wittiest of all Socrates, whose muse cannot be tamed. Of a truth, thou art a historic sage, whose name can never be forgotten. Sir Min Sai, Republic of China, The Love of Poetry Collection. Kiss, beautiful body beside curly hair. Breast, the world is so sensitive. Induced love in the passion. Naked mirage under the pituitary gland. One by one, looking at the moving face with excitement. Keep up. A deeper temptation awaits. Completely surrendering, unable to extricate themselves. Born too early so much. Mother-like supple. No intention to be your lover. Wait. Completely melted in the mouth. One day, only when the infinite passion. Love is bleak, floating in the air. Before ceiling sufficient, has been living in the perpetual illusion. Benjamin Peter, Nigeria. Ajuwaya, as you were. Mmekpao, cries of mothers running with babies tied to their tummy. Dingyangao, wailing of babies flooded by blood of their own mothers. Borno to Congo, Sudan to Mali. Breastbones of dead mothers eaten by hungry babies. Babies of war, babies of terror, abandoned to soar for a nation's error. War is not African. Africa fights freedom. Missiles against terror, missiles against corruption. War is not African. Africa loves children. Caring is Africa. Memories of past kindreds. This is not Africa. Take me back home. Home to an Africa with no dead bones. Africa is black. Black hunts no black. Black traps bears. Just as we were. Amos Joshua, Nigeria. Weeping Universe. The pillars of our civilization crumbles amid the tremor of ethnic strife and segregation. Amid this fracas and frays for causes with no destination. What's our excuse? We forget too soon the scabrosity and asperity of the journey that had ferried us thus far. In a universe where we stand alone, our whirling earth we excelled into the labor room. If we destroy our home, what will be our excuse? We grope in blindness, bragging of superiority among ourselves, when the path before us we can't even see. As we sink deeper into the pool of hate and bloodshed, our respect for life drowning amid the waves of roaring seas, we've unleashed hell on ourselves. What's our excuse? I hear the wells of the weeping universe. Droplets of our bitter tears hit our earth. The stars look down in saddest grief as they witness the unleashing of grave catastrophes. But here we slumber on, sinking our faces in the river of racism. Malice eats into the fabrics of our senses and blinds our eyes to this glaring realism. That in truth, we are all one humanity. And if tomorrow our kids stagger, homeless and aimless in the desert of disunity and avarice, our most esteemed legacy, who shall we blame? What's our excuse? Zimba Isaac, she will rise again. The words of a cold heart, the tears of a dark soul. This soul's innermost secret. She's been hurt, she's been bruised, she's been lied to, she's cried, shattered to shreds, and these broken fragments of our past are what are left of our present. She lives only on the hope of a better tomorrow, that one of the days justice will prevail, that one day her victory ship will sail, when her eyes will beam with pride, because she has made it past the stride, that she has rediscovered her worth and pursue her dreams of rebirth. She lives for that day when the sun's rays will proudly kiss the pinions of her wings, and from the ashes she'll rise again, like a phoenix, and enjoy the best feeling life will bring. Stories. Dasharak Naik, India. The Bite. The other day, the uniform-clad butterfly was in full frenzy and glee. Fluttering her wings, she was basking in the tender sun in the cold morning, dancing and singing to the tune of the whistling wind. In the waves of youthful craze and passion, she was in a reverie, being attracted by the world infatuation. She had stepped in the prohibited red light area, an unknown thrill, a sizzling temptation. Wreathed with nature's glow and hues of spring, she had prepared herself no less attractive than a queen. With the thought of the prospect of world pleasure, she was absorbed in her thoughts. She was imperfectly waiting for that wonderful moment. She was at a fix. The octopus of confusion had grabbed and trapped her from all sides of entirety. Her conscience was biting her heart. Should she fly away? Should she escape this dark dungeon? Yes, before she is crushed in the wild storm, before she loses her long-preserved dignity, before her innocence is trampled, before her beauty is lost forever. She should flee away in search of her own identity, a new address of her own, for a bright and golden future. Amaka Feli Obioji, Nigeria, a little sadness. It would be on the morning you discover your sadness that you'd say, Biko, I don't want this sadness. You will wake up on that day's morning of discovery, feeling heavy and lifeless as you would feel the need to run in your tracksuit, a habit you despise. You will run, but the heaviness in your head won't leave. You will come back later, drenched in sweat with severe headache. You will be in the moment of self-torture. You will pant for air and realize you have jogged from Afia 9 to Ekuwem Square, something you'd never do on days you knew no sadness, on days there was no heaviness in your head. It will be in that moment of sadness and reflection that you will find it. You will find the cause of your pain. You will see it hiding at one corner of your soul with its way, dragging your soul down and causing you heartburn. Suddenly, you will realize it was not the okpa from Mama Boy, the one you eat every morning during weekdays, that made your heart boil like hot water. It will be then that you will realize you have been carrying a large amount of pain. You will grieve over it. It would be after that morning when you must have had your bath, which took you 3 hours, trying to scrub out the sense of what made you sad. It was yet in the bath that you knew you couldn't take it anymore, that if you kept on that journey you might collapse. So, when you alighted from the bath, you were scared to call him and tell him that it was over. You then ran to your phone and typed a long draining message converting your sadness to words. It was just 5 minutes after you had sent the message that your phone rang for the 50th time. But you were scared to answer. You didn't want to answer. You left your phone at home to your day's work. And since it was a Thursday, another weekday, you bought okpa from Mama Boy. That day, for the first time in so many years, you ate the okpa without being afraid that your heart might boil like that hot water which market women use in removing chicken feathers at Obokuku in Onitsha. That day, you noticed that the okpa had one sweet flavor that tasted like uda. You enjoyed it. It was evening you had a great laugh with your friends and you were invited over for a party the next day. That sadness was suddenly nowhere to be found. You talked about weavons and the best saloons in town. You asked where you could make your nails and your friends marveled at your sudden change. You also noticed you had changed and you felt happier. On that day too, you saw him standing at the door of your house, holding flowers with eyes filled with "I am sorry," but you didn't want to hear him. You collected the flowers because it smelled nice, and told him to his face without fear, with so much confidence that it was over and that you had lost yourself loving him, that you wanted your space and couldn't endure the heavy burning in your heart again. He almost drenched in tears, and you were happy, very happy, that you could make him cry, and from that day you never felt sadness again. Arts and skills. Artist Odeyi Nyameki, Ghana. Artist Odeyi Nyameki, Ghana. Artist Odeyi Nyameki, Ghana. Artist Odeyi Nyameki, Ghana. Artist Italicosa, South Africa. Artist Italicosa, South Africa. Artist Italicosa, South Africa. Artist Italicosa, South Africa. Photographer Henry Victor, Canada. Photographer Victor Etekamba, Nigeria. Articles Paul Prayer, Nigeria. Paul Prayer, Nigeria. The dignity of labor among teachers and students today. 1. It is a truism that the sterling beauty of labor or hard work cannot be overemphasized. In fact, it is the pride of heroes and heroines. It was the pride of the former president of Ghana, Kwame Francis Nkrumah. Today, however, there is a shift in paradigm. Many people do not want to work, but they want to eat. They want to gather where they did not scatter. They want to be heroes without starting from zero. They want to have excellent results without working for it, and in the end, they become half-baked graduates and nuisance in the society. For how long will this nonchalant attitude exist? My dear friends, things are really falling apart, and worse still, the center cannot hold. People are beginning to lose sight of the dignity of labor. It is on this backdrop that I write this piece of notes to young men and women, most especially teachers and students. On the part of students, my beloved students, I know quite well that it is not easy to be mentees under mentors in a tormenting atmosphere. But seize every opportunity in every difficulty to better yourself. What are your goals in life? Many of you may have very brilliant visions in life, but only some may end up achieving them, while others may not due to misplacements of priority. Students, think about your parents, your friends, and everyone around you. What kind of life are they living? Don't you want to be better than them? Or are you comfortable with the level of moral decadence or corruption destroying our society? If no is your answer to the later question, then put the following into practice. 1. Be prayerful. Cooperate with the grace of God, because one with God is majority. 2. Respect your parents, leaders, teachers, and elders. 3. Love reading good and necessary books. Never allow a day to pass you by without revising what your teacher has taught you during the day. 4. Avoid bad friends and those who steal your precious time. 5. Be very punctual and active in class activities. 6. Go to bed as early as possible, probably between 9 to 10 p.m. 7. Take good care of your health. 8. Be optimistic. 9. Avoid illicit intimacy / sex and unwanted pregnancy. It destroys one's destiny. In fact, it is one of the shortest ways of destroying girls' destinies. Make sure you have proper understanding of sex education, most especially from your parents and teachers respectively. 10. Set good standards in life. Have self-respect. Don't take what does not belong to you. Also remember that freedom without responsibility does not make a good personality. It is what you sow as a little child that you will reap when you grow old. On the part of teachers, my dearly and highly esteemed teachers, It is a thing of joy to be teachers, models, and mentors. It is of no news that teachers are God's special instrument for recreating a better and godly society. You have made yourself available for this great task. May God give you the grace to accomplish it, and may He also crown your good efforts with success. Amen. Memoir: Rosie Roses, South Africa. Physically challenged mom. As a child, I was told that I had a disability at the hip joint. I could walk but not run. Years passed by, and at the age of 16, doctors discovered that my spinal cord was rather the problem. Throughout these years, I never felt ashamed of who I am. I had a normal life, dated like any girl my age, till I found the love of my life, who is now my fiance and the father of my baby. After 5 years of being together, we decided to add to our little family. Those 9 months were the hardest of my entire life. I totally lost my ability to walk. My son was born weighing 2.30 kg, but then worry soon kicked in. When it was time for him to crawl like other kids, he didn't. I thought he had taken after me, but at 1 year and 2 months old, he was running with no worry in the world. I thank God every day for the blessing He has given to me. In everything that I do, I need assistance, but I have a loving and supporting family. Sometimes I do wish I could run around with my little one. I have never seen myself as a disabled person. I guess that is why I have so much confidence. Call for submission. Deadline for submission of stories, poetry, articles, arts and skills for December issue of Youth Shades magazine is 10th November 2016. Visit www.youthshades.com for our submission guidelines. Entries should be sent to info@youthshades.com. Peace and love, Youth Shades team.